University makes me feel sad. University makes me feel failure. University makes me feel cry. University makes me feel stressed. University makes me feel anxious. University makes me feel depressed. University makes me feel angry, and sometimes university makes me feel miserable. Hello friends, good morning. My name is Tariq Faraz and you are watching Faraz Urdulish. This video is in continuation to the first video in which we talked about why the universities are dying a natural death. So today we'll be talking about the subjects of humanities and why and how they have been deprioritized, devalued and degraded. Over the past 5 decades, humanities have been subject to a progressive devaluation within and outside the academics and the world across the globe. The international political guidelines imposed by World Bank and the OECD countries, a subset of 30 countries, have highly contributed to this devaluation of the humanities. In August of 2017, a World Humanities Conference held in Belgium summarizes the idea or the rationale of the conference in the following words. The humanities were at the heart of the public debate and the political arena until the Second World War. In the recent years, their part was fading and they have been marginalized. It is crucial to stop their marginalization, restore them, and impose their presence in public sphere as well as science policies. The marginalization of humanities has been a gradual process throughout the countries by World Bank and OECD countries, a subset of 30 countries. But the question is that how did they do it? A way to find answers to these questions, we need to analyze the political documents within the international political framework. It is a historical fact that universities in the 90s were going through a great change, a great transformation. One from the conceptual point of view and the second from the practical point of view. When we read history, we find that World Bank and the OECD countries, the association of 30 countries, have imposed their agenda on universities in 1990s. Michel Gibbon in 1998, a counselor to the World Bank, has affirmed the urgencies to a new world of universities, a new way of establishing universities and a new way of functioning universities. In one of his documents, he tries to theorize and legitimize the new way of functioning universities in the following ways. According to him, the main function and the main mission of university is to serve economy, especially through training human resources and as well as the production of knowledge for the same purpose. Interestingly, other functions of the university would cast in the background and they will not be given equal importance in the framework of new priorities. Thus, from both the point of views, from practical and from conceptual point of view, the new culture of World Bank and the OECD countries was imposed to create new accountability, new management, new way of utilization of human resources, the goal of maximizing the efficiency. In short, there was a huge change in an entrepreneurial outlook of the university and the concept of university. But on the other hand, the success of this new economy, the success of new management and the success of new priorities faces a big challenge. In conclusion, the ideal idea of university becomes an instrument in the hands of the corporate culture, World Bank and the OECD countries. It appears to be the corporate laboratory for research funding by replacing classroom teaching culture into just a training center. So this devaluation and degradation of humanities in the universities was done in a very subtle way. So the first thing that they did was shrinking of resources, cuts in teaching and research, lower share of space and structure within the university, elimination of the courses and the department, or sometimes they put the departments at the risk of disappearing. The other thing was undervalued human resources such as fewer job offers, aging staff, less opportunities to the young learners and young candidates, falling wages, overloaded work schedule, And one of the most dangerous things that they have done, they have imposed upon the disciplines of humanities, is the method and the approach on humanities used in science. So these were the steps taken by World Bank and OECD countries to deprioritize the subjects of humanities. Nevertheless, ironically, UNESCO realizes this change and this loss in the following comments. They observe this politically influenced agenda in some of their writings. Choices tend sometimes to a place of high importance on specific disciplines, namely at the expense of humanities. 205, page number 90. These words and such expressions appear to be expressing a huge loss. These words seem to be loaded with a subtle but sharp sense of loss. According to R.C. Costa, these steps taken for the devaluation and degradation and deprioritization of humanities were not enough to nullify the works of humanities and the courses of humanities and the Department of Humanities by the new business economy and the labor market. But one thing is for sure, that enough damage by World Bank and OECD countries was done, and we find the result of the same. You can see the result of these bad steps taken by World Bank and the OECD countries. If you go and Google "university makes me" and hit the button, you find some shocking results, such as "university makes me feel bad," "university makes me feel stressed," "university makes me feel anxious," "university makes me feel failure," "university makes me feel depressed," "university makes me feel cry," "university makes me feel miserable." Dear friends, this is all for today's talk. Thank you for watching Faraz Urdulish. In the next video, we'll be talking about why do we need humanities, why humanities are important in the age of new economy. See you in the next video, and till then, please take care of yourself. Thank you.